Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
We just try to get the option set values and we try to get the lookup values, and also we have seen how to debug JavaScript. So first of all, why do we debug JavaScript? So whenever you have written some code, if it is not working as per expected, okay, so that time what you will do, you want to troubleshoot the code, you want to see the where you have done the wrong, like that, right? So for that purpose we will do whatever we will navigate the code whatever we do. So in yesterday scenario, what happened in our scenario, we were trying to copy whatever it's there in the India, the continent, we are trying to get the same value to here, but it's not working. Why it's not working? So we created two independent option set. Those values are not matching. So I will show what do you mean by what I mean. Okay. So if you see here in the state, so where is my continent? So if you see, these are the option set values. Okay. So for each option set, you will have a label and you will have a value. Okay. So for North America, you have this number. South America, you have some unique number. So for each option set value, there will be number behind it. So in the DB, it will store like this. Okay. Similarly, if you go for other country, country entity, continent column, for that also that is an option set, right? So there also you will have a similar kind of values. So what we are doing in our code, we are trying to get the continent value and we are directly updating it. So when it will work, so if you have the exact numbers, so North America, South America, here it is matching. Then here we have the Europe 1 lakh 2, Africa 1 lakh 3. But if you see here you have reverse. Africa has 1 lakh 2. So this is the problem in the real project also. If you have the same options here, but numbers are varying to vary. So what they will do, what we will do in the real time projects now. So to overcome this issue, what we will do, we will create the global option sets. Okay. So like this. Yesterday also we tried to create, right, one global option set. So like this, we will create a global option set. So this same option set we will be using in the both entities. So like that, we will avoid this issue. If you see here for the country, here you have Asia. Because of wrong option set value number, you are getting different one here. It's Asia here, but here you are getting Africa because of the Asia number is matching with Africa. Okay. So to avoid these issues, what we will do, we will create the labels at global level. So which will have the, and I will try to use the global option set in the option set. So both entities I will have the same number. Okay. I'm just creating it. So if you see, whenever you are choosing new, automatically number is increasing. If you want to give any unique number, you can give the unique number as well. Okay. So I'm created a global option set. Now what I want to use, I don't want to use this local. So if you see, whenever you're creating option set, you're having sync with global choice. We were not selecting, right? Now I want to select this. So for that purpose, you can't make the field value change. You are unable to switch it, right? So I will create a new field in the both entities. Okay. like continent, global. So data type is choice. Now what I will do, sync with global choice. I will use this. Can be used in multiple tables and will stay updated everywhere. So if you add some new option also somewhere, you don't need to worry. Okay, automatically the new value will be reflected in all tables. Sync with global choice. So what is the global choice options that we have? You have to look for it. Okay. Mhm. Open. So I'm going back again to tables. State table. I want to create a new column, right? So with the global option set, so continent, global, choice. So here these are the options up. It is appearing. So I have to pull mine. This is information what it is. Here. Mhm. Continent, choice, simple, required optional, sync with. So here I will. Why it's not working? Hmm. It is rendering little low. We have to be patient. Okay, now it's loaded. Let me try to get for continent. I'm trying to scroll it, but it's not moving. Let's wait. Mhm. This is control. I will try to select a state table. Now I was just trying to scroll it. So it is for loading. It is taking some time. So you have to be patient. So what we have to keep? We have to keep our continent, right? So look for it. Where do you have continent? CONT consent here. So this is my. See, you have these are the options. So sync choice with global. So I'm just using the sync with global choice, selecting it. So similarly, I have to add it for state table, new column. Here also I'm using the same name because both are different tables, so it will allow no issues, no schema issues. Choice is sync with global is. Now so continent using the same option. So what will happen now when as I'm using same thing, the numbers, labels, everything match. There is no issues in the while pushing the data or pulling the data. Okay. So what I have to do, I have to keep these values in the form, right? To work with JavaScript, the fields must be on the form. So I'm trying to put the newly created fields on the forms. Okay. So this is my country table, right? So I will open state table in this. So here I'm just putting the newly created field, continent, save and publish. So in the form also, state form, I will be using the newly created field. And what I will do, I will make it read only. So how do you make read only? You will just keep read only checkbox here for this continent. So I make read only, save and publish. So what I did, I just created a new global option set and using it, right? So what is my motto now? Whenever I am changing country here, the content global should be updated automatically, whatever it's there in the India. So India is I say I have, so I have to get the same value. So if I change it to something else also to come to here. Okay. So for that one, just I will fill all these values as the content is North America. So to test while testing it, we shouldn't get any issues. So Brazil is South America, this South America, Canada. uh, India also we have why I'm updating the newly created option. I'm updating the newly created option set. If we see that is the we are going to use. South Africa is Africa, Africa. Switzerland is in Europe. So Europe. Okay. Now we are good with almost everything. So what I want to do now, I have to write a code, right? So for that purpose, I will use again to charge it only to make it easy for you. So what is my scenario? I have to give the schema names of this country and everything, right? Like yesterday. So let's get the schema names. So I am logical names. So I'm giving the options, copying LUT continent global is a global option set. Copy continent value. Country to state whenever until lookup change on the state. So this is plain, right? So do you feel anything odd here? Copy content value from country to state whenever country lookup change on state table. So for that, I have to give the state table schema as well. So to avoid confusion, what we can do, we can give the, we can remove that old continent. Okay. I'm just attaching this as well. Unable to upload. Okay. So I'm just state tables. State table has the same options, same global options set. For delete. Right. Share the JS code. So yesterday also we have tried similarly. So he asking register the function on change of country, lookup state table, pass execution context is JavaScript code, populate content. Yesterday also it is given almost same. So one thing we overlooked what yesterday, it is trying to retrieve record. This is making right. So whenever you want to get information from another table, we will be using the Xrm.WebApi calls. Okay. So here you are on the state table, but you want to retrieve the country continent label value. So by default, whenever you do the get value, what you are getting only ID, name, title, right? Schema name of entity, GUID of that record, and the title of that record. Okay. But what you are needing additional field, the continent, global, and the country. So for that purpose, what you have to do, you have to make the XRM web API call. So if you see in the form context, they are getting country lookup, they are getting. After that, they are getting the lookup value. So here they are getting GID. So from this GID, you can't set the continent, right? So you have to know the label, this number option set value. So for that purpose, what he is doing, he is making a additional call to country XRM API call, and he is passing the GID and he is fetching the continent global option. Then he once he is getting the option, he is setting the same value to the current entity, state entity. So you have to understand why we are making XRM API call. By default, as you are on the state form, you won't get the complete info of country table. So to get the complete record info, you have to make a XRM API call. So similarly, XRM API call be web API calls will be used for to update any other table record from here, or if you want to retrieve any other table records like that. Other than form context will have only the current table information which are there in the form. So to pull the values from other table, to set the values from other table, you have to use this XRM API call. Okay. Now I'm just going to library, editing it, unload. So I'm just removing this older populated content, pasting, expecting I hope no issues come. I'm just publishing. So I updated the JavaScript library. So what I have to do next, I have to change the event, right? So on the country, I'm just changing the event. This is the same library, so I will be using same. I have to give the name, right? So populate continent, enable pass execution context true. So what will happen? I added my new code in the library. Then I'm adding the event. JavaScript function is already added. So for the event adding, I'm just using this handlers. adding. So whenever on change happen, it will trigger. Do a publish. Now let's refresh our code. More tools, developer tools. Do a hard refresh here. Now I will be using this only same record. I'm not creating any new state record. One of the script error. Web resource method doesn't exist. So actually this was the old method. It's not we remove red, so it is expecting. Why? Because we have a event on the onload. So we have to remove that event. So like this you need to understand. So let me show the error again. So what it is saying, web resource method doesn't exist. Populate content. Method means function. Web resource function doesn't contain. So what is this? This is expecting in the JavaScript library event name onload, function name populate content. So if you go to onload events, you will see populate content is there, but you removed it from the library, right? So you have to remove from here. That's what you have to check from there. So I did publish. Then what I will do, I will just do a hard refresh. It's not yet reflected. I will do a publish all customization from solutions to make sure it's working. I'll do it now. You have to load. So you need to wait until that publish all customizations actually. Now we are not getting error good. Now what I want to do, I'm just switching country. So the value should be automatically populated, right? So if you see, whenever you change it, automatically the content global is populating. So if you change for something else, Africa. So like this, the code, whatever you have written, it works. So what? Okay, now what we are doing, we are using XRM WebApi call to get this. Your retrieve record. So you need to understand the syntax what you are passing. So here you need to give the G schema name of the entity for what entity you want to retrieve. You want to pass the GUID because retrieve record means you have to retrieve a single record, right? So you have to give the GUID, specific GUID for that table record. So what you want to, these are the column set. So we were saying we will be using OData filters, right? In the Power Automate also we have seen select the schema name. So here also, so what does it mean? So whenever it is retrieving the call, it will retrieve only this. So we will try to debug now. We will see how it is going. Okay. So for that purpose to debug, what I will do, I will go to sources, three dots, open files. I will open my JavaScript. I will put a breakpoint here. Okay. I will put a breakpoint inside also some side. So you need to just click on the here. You will get this symbol breakpoint. So you can debug the code. So I will just change back to, I just changed, still it trigger. So for every change it will trigger actually. Okay. Now do this step over. So we're getting country lookup. Country lookup we are getting null this time. You have to. Okay. What's the value? Set value null. So if you continue, what will happen? It is clearing. Whenever you're changing, it is clearing. Now if I select India, again it will trigger. You have to see line by line country lookup. It's not now. It's not null, right? It won't go inside. You can check this. Now if you see, earlier it was null, so it went inside and it cleared the value. Now it's as it is not going down. So what we are doing, we are just getting the country lookup will get always three values, right? When you are doing get ID. So if you want to see this, you can see this from the quick watch also. If you see in the left side, you will have quick watches. You can add your whatever you want to check. So I want to check this country lookup, what values are coming. So I will keep this country lookup. So here I am getting the country name, schema name, country GAD, and the label name. So as what I need a continent global that is not directly coming from the lookup. So that's why I'm doing making an additional web API retrieve record call. So to use web API retrieve record call, you have to pass the schema name of the entity, you need to pass the GAD of that record, and you have to give the select. These are optional. You can give the, if you give true, it will retrieve all. Okay. So I'm just doing continue. So now if you see, you got the result. So if you want to see the result, what it is there in the result, that also you can add it in the quick So you are getting an object. Within the object, you are getting continent global values there. And you have the formatted value. That is nothing but a label value also there. You have the country GAD, everything. So you want to use continent global, right? So here, content value is not null, undefined. Then you are setting form context to continent value, state record. Okay. So like that, you will set it. So similarly, what you want to do whenever you change, whenever you created a, whenever you are creating a new record on state, suppose you want to do something else on other entity. Okay, let's take this scenario. So whenever you are adding so right now here we are using retrieve record, right? So what I want to try the update calls for the same XRM web. From here state entity, I want to update the country. So for that purpose, I'm just seeing the like states, number of states like that. Okay. So for that purpose, I'm going to create a new fields. Okay. New field on the country. That is the numeric number. Number of states. Number. Whole number. It should be positive. So I'm just clearing this setting 0 or greater than. Save. So now what I want to do, whenever a new state is created, So right now, if you see here, I'm creating state, right? So when I'm saving one more state with India country, the India country should have two states. Like that, I want to update. So let's assume if you want to create like one more state called Tamil Nadu. So if I'm using the same India, so on the India table, why we are getting error? Okay, on India table, the number should be updated to 2. So that's my thing. So for that purpose, what I just created a new field, right? Number of states. So I will be updating the form. It's added in the form already. Number of states. Okay. So how it should work? As India has two states. So Tamil Nadu and Telangana both are using India country. So here I should have two updated. If I created a new state, automatically this count should be increased to 3. So like that, I want to update always. So from the JavaScript. So now if you see, this is a different table, state is a different table, but you want to update whenever a new state is created, you want to update the country. So with the form context, what you can do, you can't update the directly with the same entity. If you want to update the another entity, or if you want to get the another entity information, you have to use this XRM.WebApi column. Okay. So let's refresh this get the schema. So we have number of states. Okay, so I am using this same thread, ChatGPT thread. Okay, so I'm just copy the schema names. State table schema names. Okay, similarly, I will copy country schema names. So to work it more effectively, you have to give the exact. Okay, so whenever a new state is added, I want to update the country table number of states column with whenever a new state is added or modified. Added means created, modified means change changed. I want to update the country table number of states column with appropriate states state numbers with respect to particular country. So I'm just giving the scenario whatever we discussed just now. Let's see how it will change. For the requirement, JavaScript is not the best choice because it only runs on the user save records from the form. It won't handle imports Power Automate. So 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 option one, create a Power Automate like that they're saying. So still if you see here, register on state of form same. So what they are doing, they are getting the execution context, state count. They are getting country lookup, country retrieve multiple records. So state, they are getting how many are matching with this. Then they are updating. Okay. Now Power Automate, we can try the same, but plugin also we can try, but we want to use with Power Automate JavaScript only, right? So if you see, so trigger create, update, or number of states. So if you see, they want to trigger on save. On which table they want to trigger on the country only. So form context, they are getting country lookup. Country lookup, we have done the state, right? So we have to execute on the state. So it will trigger on the state. So what they are doing next, after retrieving the lookup, they are formatting the GIDs. They are removing the extra the square brackets and curly braces. So they will get the GID only. Xrm WebApi retrieve multiple records. So they are retrieving the state again. So to match. So because in the current form, they will know only Telangana information. They don't know how many states are with same India country, right? So that's why they are querying XRM WebAPI retrieve multiple records state where filter country is matching with the country GID. So earlier I was saying, right, these are the OData filter. So here you want to keep whatever you want to do. So you want to keep any conditions, you want to keep any information about what are the attributes you will fill. Everything you will write in this format. Select LUT name means it will give the name of the state record. So that is nothing but a state name, and you are filtering it. So dollar filter means you are filtering. So what filter you want to put? Where country equal to current record country. So to know the exact number of records there for the India country. Okay. So then you are getting the results. So you will get the state length, result dot entities dot length. So you are getting the object, right? So as it is a return multiple record, you will get an object array. So the length of the array is nothing but a number of records are matching, right? So you will get the state count. Then number of states count. You are updating country. Again, you have to update the country table, right? So here you are doing the XRM WebAPI update record. For that, you have to update the GID. So you have to pass a number, right? So you are passing like this setting. Okay. Let's copy paste as is. We will put it in our JavaScript library. I'm putting on top this. You can put anywhere in your function, it will execute. The only thing you have to make sure it's not having any breakage, code syntax errors. So usually we will use Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code for developing the code, but we are not using. Okay, as we are using chargeable generated code, I'm just putting the as is. But if you want to see the formatting everything, you have to open it in the Visual Studio Code. I'm just in publish. I will do solution level publish as well. What I have to do, I have to register on save event, right? On state table. So I will do that as well. Go to forms, information. This is my function name. Instead of on load, I want to keep it on save. So it will work whenever I click on the save button. Save and publish. New state. Done. So I will do enter publish, publishing the solution. So meanwhile, I will just see the what are OData filters must known for CRM developers. So if you look for this one, so state code, so this is equal to whenever you want to compare anything, we will be putting the this is a column name and this is a value. State code means it will pull the active records, not equals any greater than JT. Like this, these are the all these are OData filters less than add condition. If you want to condition of two columns, state code equal to 0 and address country equal to Canada. Or condition Canada equal to yes. Contains, if you want to check anything value, any column contains, start with. So these are all lookup filter. So this is a, so if you see for lookup, what is the schema name you are having in general on the form? you are having LUT country. But if you see for what they are giving this value because this country will have three things, right? Always schema name, GID value, GID of that record, and name of that record. So in the DB, how it stores, it will stores with value. If you see the order record in WebAPI, where it is record URL, open record in WebAPI. So if you see wherever you have country, that is storing in the DB like this. So that's why we are having we have to check the condition with like this LUT country value. In the behind the lookup will be stored like this. Option state will be stored with number only. Lookup will be stored with GID only. The remaining title will text will be stated with state type. Created will be same as this, but lookup will be stated. So created by value. If you see, this is also in general created by, we will have a person name na. So that is also lookup. So that will also share with GID. Lookups will be stored with GIDs. Option set will be stored with numbers in the behind the scene. So if you want to do any conditions or anything, you have to use this GIDs numbers, right? So you have to use the proper schema. So for the lookups, mostly we will be following like underscore value. For option set, the schema name will be same. So null values, if you compare anything null like this, you have to. So these all you need to make a minimal coding. Also, you need to know how do you put greater than filter, how do you put less than filter, all these. Okay. So these are the now also you have top records count, top 10 order by select. Okay. So most frequently in the projects, these dollar select. What do you mean by dollar select? What do you mean by dollar expand? So if you see in the Power Automate, we have seen that, right, expand query. So similarly in the JavaScript also we can do the expand query with this expand parameter. Okay. So I did publish. Now I will do a refresh. Existing context. So I'm just, let's change this country. What will happen? Let's see. I'm saving Canada. Now to see it, the value changed in the Canada or not, you have to go to Canada, right? It should have one ideally, but it's not triggered. So how do you troubleshoot? First, you need to check whether your code is updated or not. First thing, whenever your code is not working, you have to check whether code is updated in the browser or not. So for that, you have to be on the state form only. Come back, open this state form. Now look for your code library. Where is my? No, it's not coming. New state only, right? Okay. I will get the developer tools again. Sources, open file. JavaScript. You have retrieve multiple records. You have update record. You have, but it's not working. We need to see. Okay. Now select India. Save. You are not getting any error. Also, we should see number of country states one. So for Tamil Nadu, also one more is there, but it's not coming up. Let me modify this. Save. Let me see this country. It is coming to, okay. It's updating, right? So suppose if we created a new state. So let's create Kerala. If I'm using the same India as others, so what will happen? this will update the India table because with India value there are 3 records, so it has to be 3. So it's not coming 3. I think some logic issue somewhere. So if I update again, it is increasing. So on create, it's not working. It means if you go here, it is coming 3. So what does it mean? So there is some bug in your whatever ChatGPT given. So whenever you're creating for the first time, it's not updating. But if whenever you're doing update, it's updating, right? So you need to figure it out why it's not working. So you can ask here only for how do you troubleshoot generally? You have to debug the code. Okay. So let's try to debug. Then we will try to ask. So let's put breakpoints now. New. I'm putting breakpoint here. Filling like one more state. Okay. So on save I have given 11, right? So whenever you get on save, the it will hit the breakpoint wherever you are debugging. It came here. Okay. I am good with country lookup. It has value. So it will get it. You will get the country ID. So country ID is coming. So you are getting retrieve. So first I will see how many states are retrieving. Now we see this is a I can't write. So let me you got result length. You are getting 3. But why you are getting 3? Actually this is the 4th record. So the basically it is retrieving from the database, right? So it won't consider the current record. Why? Because you are creating just now. It's not yet saved in the form, right? So whenever you are for a creating purpose, as it doesn't have the this record in the DB, it is able to pull only 3 records, 3 states. That's why the newly created one is not considering. Whenever you're doing update, it's considering. Okay. So that's the mistake. That's the logic issue in our code. So how to correct this one? You have to do either +1 for the file creating, like that you need to handle. So record is saved. Now if you go there, it will be 3 only. It won't have 3, 4. But if I update the record next time, already the record is already present now. So it will have the 4. If you see 4, are you getting what's the logic error we did? So it is pulling the retrieve multiple records which are matching this country in the DB. While creating a new record, it is unable to pull because that is not yet saved, right? That's why you are not getting a proper value. You are getting one number less than. So if you go to now Asia, India, you will have 4. So this is how we will troubleshoot. We will work with Xrm.WebApi. So here, if you see, we were using Xrm.WebApi for retrieve multiple records. Same way you are using for update recording. So basically, why do we use Xrm.WebApi? To update another table, to get the another table information, we will be using Xrm.WebApi. So what are the Xrm.WebApi? We have only 4 methods: create record, update record, retrieve multiple record. Retrieve single record, get one record ID. So retrieve record, schema name, GID, what are the columns you want to retrieve. Retrieve multiple records, table. So you will have a condition. So it will for this condition you may have multiple records. You are not passing any GID here. Then create record. Level what is it? Create record, account. You are setting the value, creating it. Update record, XRM update record. You will have delete record as well. For that also you have to specify each record. You can do associate record, XRM associate. You have to pass that relationship name. What is the relationship you want to associate account in between account and contact? Dissociate, execute custom action, Xrm and execute, Xrm and execute. So like this, we will be using different. Mostly we will be using update, delete, this five only. Top, retrieve multiple, create, update, delete. This associate also we rarely use, but good to know. So if you ask also why do we need XRM Web API instead of form context? This is a very common sentence question. Works with fields. See, form context work with fields on the current form. Read, write values to the current form. Limited to the open forms. No server calls required. Works with the Dataverse records. Read, writes Dataverse records. Can access any table, any record. Make web API. So that's the difference. So form context will work for only current table, current record, current form. So for the current table also, if you don't have that field on the form, it won't work. Form context means the field should be on the form. Okay. Any questions? Chalo. Similarly, why do we need OData filters for XRM Web API calls? So basically, it's not only for XRM Web API, we will be using OData filters always to make sure the querying effectively. Okay. Impact performance, increase network traffic, slow down form loading, return unnecessary data. So you will be more clear what you want to return. So if you see without OData filter, you will do retrieve multiple records contact. So this will it will record 1,000 1 lakh contacts. But if you that will take some time, right, to pull 1 lakh records. That will seem good amount of data to pull all the records. Suppose if you pull only state code active, that may have some less number, right? So better performance. Your country state requirement. Suppose user enters Brazil, need count only states belong to Brazil. So if you retrieve normally, it will retrieve everything. But if you retrieve specific country, it will get the less numbers like that. So to duplicate checking. So basically, water filters will be used for performance based, more effective, good practice like that. So to work effectively, we will be using water filters to avoid unnecessary calls, unnecessary data returning. Okay, just try these. Prepare well.